we're live. Hi, welcome to the broadcast. My name is Carlos. I'm a host on Machina Experience, and we're here with Michael Vieau from the MiniPwner project. He's gonna tell us a little bit about the MiniPwner project. So, take us away, Michael.
Sure, thanks, Carlos. Thanks for having us. Yeah, so we just wanted to look at the MiniPwner today, kind of look at what it is, what it's for, why we built it, and why we still continue to maintain it a little bit. So real quick, brief introduction. If you're not familiar with penetration testing or penetration testing tools, the MiniPwner is a Linux-based utility. Most penetration testing tools are Linux-based. The MiniPwner itself runs a version called OpenWrt. It's Open WRT. You can find it on the internet. It's open source freeware. As you can see right now, it's based off of the TP-Link 3040. So it comes in a really nice little package. We chose this router. It's pretty popular. A lot of people use it. I believe the Rutabaga uses it as well. Has its own battery pack, which is kind of handy. And Ethernet port, USB port, internal Wi-Fi, and then some switches and things on the side, which we'll get into in a little bit later. But really, the reason that I can't say I invented it, Kevin Bong actually started this project back in 2012, and the reason he sort of started the project was directly in response to the Wi-Fi Pineapple. He thought that was a really great product, and he wanted to sort of build his own. So he actually came up with the original MiniPwner was based off of the TP-Link 703N, which is a little small blue square that you can get in China. Unfortunately, it's not CC approved. So we decided to move away from that and use one that's a little bit more mainstream for the US, which is why we came across the 3040. The target audience really, I suppose, is for penetration testers, people that are interested in security and not necessarily novices. It is pretty much command line driven. That's where I like to use Linux from, is the command line. It does have a default web interface that comes with OpenWrt. So there are some configuration options in there, but most everything that you're going to find on the site is going to be from the command line. So it helps if you know a little bit about Linux, and, you know, how to use a command line and not be afraid of a command line.
Okay.
I don't know if that kind of sums up the intro.
Here's a little size comparison. If you are a 1+1 owner, you know how big this is, or if you know someone who is, this is a little size comparison. So this is a 6 inches, 7 inches. I don't know. It's almost the size of an iPhone 4S. It's a little bit smaller. And you need, I think, one of these. I think it'll run you about how much, Michael? About $30?
Something like that. That's probably average cost. I've been able to find them at Walmart, Target, Amazon, eBay, all over the place. So you have a good chance of finding one at a local store. If you do, I would highly recommend that you look on the bottom of the box. In fact, there's a box that they come in. You'll notice on the bottom it'll have the serial number. You're going to want to see if you can find version 2. I've used 2.1 through 2.4, and I've not had any problems. The reason I say that is because if you follow the news lately in the last couple of months, TP-Link has announced that they're starting to rewrite firmware, so we can't necessarily lay down OpenWrt as easy. Now that is on their home grade products, not the small portable routers yet. I don't know when or if that's going to be coming down the pipe, but as of right now, I can say up to version 2.4, we have no problems.
Okay. Also, here's the back cover. It's pretty small.
Yeah, it's about a deck of playing cards.
Yeah. I think you recommend using one of these SanDisk Ultra Fit. I think it's a Cruiser Fit.
Yeah, the Cruiser fits. These are the best ones.
Yeah.
Again, very accessible. Um, we do sell the MiniPwners off of our site. So when you get it from us, you do get a 16 gig chip, which is way more than enough for anything. Originals had a 4 gig, so pretty much anything that you want. Again, I've used up to a 16 gig chip, so I know that works.
Okay. I'm running a 32 gig one, and it's perfectly fine.
Okay.
Yeah, it works fine. What else? Oh, if you ever need to do any debugging and things go seriously wrong, you might want to invest in one of these. It's a little FTDI FTDI serial to USB chip. It's a 1232 chip. You find them on Amazon, eBay for like $3. They're really cheap.
Yeah, those are good little units. I use those quite a bit actually. We do have our fair share of meltdowns and bricks and things running around the office somewhere, which kind of led us into just a quick segue from since we're talking about hardware.
Mm-hmm.
If you've seen the site, there is a second version that we've been working on for a while now. It's called the Black Edition. It's based off the exact same TP-Link 3040, but the main difference is that it's coated in a matte black vinyl. It's very difficult to see since it's all black because the point is to be stealthy, but you'll notice it's got an external Wi-Fi antenna. And then right here, I don't know if you can pick that up, but their serial ports are exposed.
Mm-hmm.
So you can access the serial port directly. And also we can control all of the LEDs by the GPIO pins, excuse me, except for the power. The power LED has actually been desoldered.
Okay.
So you can actually make it completely black and stealthy, which is the point of this particular unit. Other than that, the hardware is the same. It just gives you a little more flexibility, direct serial access and things like that. So we're working on doing some other really cool stuff with the serial port.
What kind of connector is for on that router? Is it a SMA type connector?
Yeah, just the standard SMA connector.
Okay.
Yeah, nothing special.
Like a you can find a lot of antennas really cheap.
Yes, and it does come with 3 dB is what we ship it with.
So
yeah, I've used actually I plugged in. I think I had a 9 or a 12 dB on there. Works fine.
that's so neat. So, how does this differ from the Wi-Fi Rutabaga and the Pineapple and the Hack RF?
So the big difference, like I said, Kevin invented this back in 2012 directly in kind of response, I suppose, to the Pineapple. He just wanted to see if he could make one himself is really kind of what it came down to. So it's the poor man's Pineapple, if you want to call it that.
Okay.
Pineapple is a great product. In fact, I've got a couple of them in our office, but it's an expensive product. The point of the MiniPwner is that you can do it yourself, for maybe 50 or 60 bucks, if not less than that these days. I mean, prices have really started to come down. We wanted it to be open source. We wanted it to be accessible by everybody. So that was kind of the catalyst to come up with the project. And Kevin and I still work on this when we have time. Like I said, we're still working on developing some new hardware attachments and some new software stuff for it. Hopefully we'll be out later this year. It's been kind of a rough beginning to 2016, but hopefully we'll get that finished up here this summer.
Okay.
As far as the Rutabaga goes, the Rutabaga is actually based off of it's based off of 3040, and it's got the code for a Wi-Fi Pineapple and the MiniPwner installed in it as one. So it's both of them together.
Okay.
The interesting part about the Rutabaga is it is still using, to my knowledge, it's still using the older 1.0 code of the MiniPwner. We have updated everything. This is considered the MiniPwner 2.0, if you will. The code base is all different. So I've not personally used the Rutabaga. I hear they're nice, based off the same hardware. So.
Okay. What's the main differences between 1.0 and 2.0?
The big difference is we moved the operating system off of attitude adjustment and went to barrier breaker.
Okay.
That was the big one. We've added a lot more packages since we expanded from a 4 gig to a 16 gig USB chip. We can put a lot more packages on there by default, which is nice. Obviously, the hardware has changed from the 703N to the 3040. It's another big change. And with the addition of what we've been calling the mini modes, that was something that we introduced in the newest 2.0 version.
Yeah, those are really neat. Just a little drop down menu. See if I can pull up a picture of it. It's really neat.
Yeah, that was inspired by me being really lazy.
It's they say mother necessity is the is the source of all inventions, right? Get a little picture here. It's oh, what is it written in? Is it in Python, right?
The mini modes is actually just a bash script. So it's actually pretty elegantly simple. Basically what you've got there is a web interface. So you've got that web interface right there. And you just go to the IP address of the MiniPwner. That's the default, the 192.168.3.1. That's the default IP address for the web interface when you build it.
Okay.
And what that's showing right there is those is the switch layout on the side of the MiniPwner. So if you're looking at the front of it, I guess it would be your right-hand side. You've got a 3-position switch right here. The middle is the setup position, which puts it back to a sort of pseudo default, puts an AP mode on it, so you can access it and make these configuration changes. And then when you boot up the MiniPwner, what happens is there's a bash script that runs. It reads everything in a given directory structure and then generates the drop-down list at runtime, and then it presents it to you in a web interface. So it's self-writing, I guess. You can add as many mini modes as you want. The point is, I just threw a couple stock ones in there to play with to kind of demonstrate what they can do. The whole goal is to have people write their own. We had kind of thought about setting up kind of like a repository of people to submit them in. Thought that'd be kind of fun. But yeah, you can just write them, put them in a directory structure, and then reboot the MiniPwner, and they'll come up and show up in that drop-down menu. Then what happens is, by default, every 5 seconds, the MiniPwner checks to see what position that switch is in. And then once it gets flipped into one of the other positions, it executes whatever code you've told it to in that directory structure. And
also, when you came up with the mini modes, it looks like it's very mobile friendly. So like I can access it from my phone or.
Yep, that was the point.
Yeah, and it's actually easy to use. So.
Yeah, exactly. Because one thing that we do, I wouldn't say a lot of, but we certainly do it. Kevin and I are both professional penetration testers, so we'll take these with us when we go on a physical engagement. Walking into a corporation or whatever, I'll have 10 or more mini modes set up on there, not knowing exactly what I'm going to want to do. But then once I sort of get in the door and get the lay of the land, I can very easily connect my mobile phone to it, change the mini mode to whatever I want it to be, that's going to serve my purpose, and then it's ready for deployment. So it's sort of like a staging environment, if you will. Okay. I can have it pre-set up and pre-configured.
Okay.
So,
What are some of the examples of the mini modes that already come on it?
Let me tell you.
One is war walking, and I think the other one is like
Yeah,
access point.
yeah. So we've got a couple of them. Access point mode, which turns it into basic AP. Just some demonstrations of the lights on, the lights off, which are the GPIO pin or GPIO control for the LEDs. War walking, which puts it in, which uses Kismet and allows you to do essentially that, just war walking, capture access points. And then a Wi-Fi client, which gives you the ability to just connect to a Wi-Fi environment. So if I'm at home or at my office, I've got the Wi-Fi client pre-programmed with the correct credentials, and then I can just connect it to the network.
Okay. Now, how long does the battery last?
I guess it depends on the amount of use. I've had pretty much an all-day success. I would say between 4 to 6 hours of pretty much nonstop use. So, I'm comfortable deploying this and leaving it sit at a client site or at a target site for a day with
Okay.
pretty good confidence I'm going to come back and find it.
Okay. Let's see. Oh, this is another thing that comes in the box. It's a little Linguini network cable. Really neat. I think it's Cat 5. So
Yeah, it's nice when you buy the TP-Link. There's not much more you need other than the TP-Link box itself, which is what you kind of purchase, and then a USB stick. I mean,
yeah.
that's pretty much it. The power adapter, USB cable, Ethernet cable, everything comes with the TP-Link, which is a really nice benefit.
Okay. Let's see what else. What else do we have here?
So
Also, there's some like stuff. It tells you what the lights is. It comes with a little quick installation manual. Good stuff. Tells you how to get into it, how to connect to it. Usual just stuff to get you started.
comes with a mini coaster.
Oh,
Nice.
a mini coaster.
Mini coaster works really well.
Yeah.
I have them all around my house for guests.
So let's see. Let's move on to the overview. So
Sure. So let's take a look at, see if I can correctly share my terminal window.
the joys of technology.
Great. Go. All right. See that okay?
Yeah, now I can see it.
All right. So I'm connected to a MiniPwner right now.
Michael, hit share share to everyone. It should put you in front of me so we don't have this flip-flopping.
Is that better?
I think so, yeah.
Okay. So 1.1 is the default configuration. So this is one that I just finished building.
Mm-hmm.
That one bit. All right. So if we look at it here, so it's got the 16 gig, which comes out to about a little less than 14 gigs. USB stick in there. If we take a look, whoops, for the MiniPwner directory, we've got the mini modes directory. And this is where you can create any folder structure you want. So,
okay. If you're new to the Linux environment, the best way to really say to start is to basically watch YouTube videos. That's actually how I found the MiniPwner itself. I I'm gonna see if I can. I'm gonna try to plug the other project, Michael. The Pirate Box is the original is the original thing I actually got for this router for, and I noticed that the MiniPwner looks much more enticing than just a box you can just share files with. So when you turn a Pirate Box into a MiniPwner, it becomes a evil Pirate Box, in my opinion. Sorry, Michael. Go ahead.
No, that's fine.
Um,
So what I was just going to demonstrate here real quick is that in the current directory, I've got the access point. What happens is, so I create this directory, I name it whatever I want to name it. I put a script in here, again, I name it whatever I want to name it. I just make it executable. It can be Bash, Python, Perl. I think that's it.
okay.
And then
Java.
Yeah, I think Java's on here.
Oh, okay.
I'd have to check on that. I don't remember. Usually we don't like Java.
Yeah. Yeah.
But you just look at the configuration file, the script file, all it's doing is simply copying these files over into the correct directory.
Okay.
So what I've done here is I've pre-configured wireless and the access point information for the MiniPwner and for this particular mini mode, as you will.
I love that wireless key you have for it.
Isn't that great? That's a default. And then so it just copies those two files over to the correct location in the etc config file and then restarts wireless. So it's really that easy. I mean, it's not really meant to be mysterious. But like, so if I wanted to create, I created a directory called test, I could make a new script in here, right? That would copy some files over, do something that I wanted it to do. Yeah. And then next time I reboot the MiniPwner, it's going to come up and I'm going to see whatever this folder name is, this is what's going to be displayed in the drop-down menu.
Ah, okay. So when you want to, the mini mode that you're going to select is actually the folder name, and then it's going to look for a script or a program.
Yep.
Okay.
It's going to look for something that's executable inside of there.
Okay.
So, and it's all open source. It's just a bash file. You can look at this anytime you want, but this is how it just reads the switch and reads in the GPIO pins. It figures out where it actually is. And then if it's in that mode. So one thing that we noticed right off the bat is if it's in the mode, it will constantly keep detecting itself. And, oh, I'm in the first switch position. I better run the script again and keep stepping on itself. So it won't do that now. We fixed that. That was a that was a birthing problem. So it can detect that it's already in that mode.
Okay. You don't want it too self-aware, right?
Right. So it has a state file. So right now, here are the modes. I look at the mode file. Here are my two switch positions. And then if I look at the state file, my switch is currently in the middle position right now. But if I, hopefully not wreck too much, flip my switch real quick. So now I've flipped my switch, you'll see that the state has moved.
Okay.
Because it can read the GPIO settings. So
now the switch he's toggling, if you remember back, he's actually toggling this little 3-position switch. So you said those are controlled by the GPIOs, right?
Correct.
Okay.
Or rather, the switch can control GPIOs.
Oh, okay.
whichever way you want to say it.
Hmm.
But yeah, then as you showed the web interface, you just go in and select your mini modes, and away you go, and it will retain that information, retain the mini modes that you've set up.
Okay.
And sky's kind of the limit. I mean, you can make as many as you want.
Okay. And this is all. So this directory, this is actually on the USB dongle or USB drive.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, everything sits on the USB drive. I guess I should back up. If you're familiar or not familiar with OpenMort, there's some really good tutorials online, but one of the tutorials that they have is how to do a process, what they call pivot root.
Mm-hmm.
So we actually move the root file system off of the internal memory, which is 16 megabytes, to the external USB storage. So instead of having 16 megs, we've moved it and have 16 gigs.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna stop sharing that.
Okay. So to set up the device, you purchase one of these and you go over to your website, and that's www.minipwner.com, right?
Correct. Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, in fact, give me just a second here. Let's see if I can do this one more time. There.
Okay.
So this is the main site, minipwner.com. And then as you were just talking about, you can build one. Now the instructions that you need to build one
Mm-hmm.
are right on the site. Now this is for the version 2. If you are interested in still building a version 1, we've kept the information out here under the version 1 archive.
Mm-hmm.
So if you do want to build one, all that information is still here.
Mm-hmm.
But as you can see, it's all in Japanese.
Neat.
Yeah, it kind of makes it a little bit interesting. I don't read
Get the
Japanese.
right one.
Yeah, finding the correct button is sometimes interesting.
Don't they have like a Chrome thing for that where you actually like send it off and they actually like translate the page for you? I think they have a Chrome add-on for that. Something neat.
Yeah, maybe, I'm sure they do. Google has everything.
Um,
But everything can be downloaded. So the file structure, it walks you through how to create the format, or excuse me, how to format the USB drive, install barrier breaker.
if you guys need a Linux system, I highly recommend Slacks. Slacks is awesome. Slacks Linux. It's a very modular. What's it called? It's a very modular operating system. So maybe in a later video on our channel, I'll make a video how to actually make a bootable USB drive. So stay tuned, and you'll probably I'll try to make a video on how to set up and how to what's it called? How to format a drive with I think it's fdisk you said to use, or
Yeah.
gparted, right?
I just use fdisk. Gparted
Okay.
works very well, too.
Okay.
I just wanted to show here real quick. So these are some of the packages that we install by default that we recommend that you install. But of course, the whole point of the MiniPwner is that it's flexible. You can install whatever you want, but these are the things that it actually comes with if you follow the guide.
Okay.
So a lot of utilities, pretty much everything that I need if I'm doing a security assessment or a penetration test,
Okay.
comes on it.
Okay. It's actually once you really get all the switching, once you get past the the fear of actually using the command line and learning how to set up telnet and SSH, it's actually really easy to set up. I think it took me, I think, 45 minutes to get most of it done, and then I ran out of time. And I think it's about an hour if you really take things slow. It should take you about an hour to do.
Yeah, I would say that's pretty accurate. I don't think it should take you more than an hour.
Yeah.
Even for your first time.
Hmm.
Obviously, it gets easier subsequent times you do it.
Yeah. How many times have you done that, Michael?
Several hundred.
Yeah.
I lost count.
um, so where can you buy a black edition?
Right now, those are sold exclusively through the MiniPwner site.
Okay.
They are built whenever I have free time to build them. They're not. I've discovered that they're not very easy to build. They do take quite a while. Laying down the black vinyl and everything is very time consuming. But yeah, I try to build them as often as I can, and then I tweet about it, or I'll post something on the site that says I've got 4 or 5 more in stock, and when they're sold out, then they're sold out until I build more.
If you want to follow him, his Twitter is @MiniPwner, right?
Yep, at minipwner.com, or yeah, at MiniPwner.
Yeah. So what other cool stuff do you have for us today, Michael?
Well, I think that's the really cool stuff. One other project, well, besides the MiniPwner stuff, one of the things that we are working on is the reason we've exposed the serial port and expanded out the wireless adapter is to get more functionality out of it. So we have been doing some experiments with the serial interface, trying to figure out some really cool ways to control the MiniPwner and sort of make add-on modules, if you will.
Okay, that's neat.
Again, things you can either buy or build yourself.
Okay. Do you think you could probably control an Arduino with the MiniPwner?
Control an Arduino with the MiniPwner? Possibly. I guess it depends on how you would want to control that Arduino.
Okay.
I don't think the MiniPwner is going to be powerful enough to actually have the development software installed.
Okay. Let's see. So, Michael, you have a YouTube channel, right?
Yeah, so that's something new that Kevin and I have just been starting up. Some new videos will be posted soon. So we call it the Mayhem Lab, and what we've got going over there is just hardware hacking things. Again, we want to just help people out, educate people, and show them what we can do, what they can do, kind of on a budget, inexpensively, for 20 or 30 bucks, make something cool and have some fun. So that's what that's all about. Kevin and I just really love to hack hardware together. We do trainings all over the place, doing that sort of thing. So, get a soldering gun, a couple components, come on over and check out the videos.
Yeah. What was the last one you made? I think it was called a micro makey.
Yeah. So if you're familiar with the makey, it's a product that I believe the 2 gentlemen that invented it were from MIT, I think. But anyway, they came up with this makey, which is basically a conductive toy, I guess, for lack of a better term, but you connect it to something that's going to be capacitive, like we used carrots in our demonstration.
Yeah.
You ground yourself out, and then it just becomes a HID device into your computer.
Okay.
So you can send keyboard commands. What we did, or what Kevin did, is came up with a micro makey, and uses a Arduino Mini and modified the code a little bit. So it's now much. And then we demonstrate how to make a video game controller using a piece of cardboard and some tinfoil. So very, very easy to do, very cheap,
Mhm.
fun activity.
And Arduino Micro, what is it? What is it called again? Arduino
Uh,
Minis.
I believe it's an Arduino Mini.
Okay, they
I
run
don't know.
about how much?
That's one menu.
$10?
Those I think are less than $5.
Okay. Um,
And I do know there's a specific board. So there's a wiring diagram that we have on the site as well, which is the mayhemlab.net
mhm.
that you can download the instructions and make your own. But if you do want a pre-printed circuit board, Kevin printed a whole bunch of them. And I think we have about 20 of them to give away. So if you guys want to email us, our contact information is on the site, and we can send you a board.
I will link that in the video description. Let's see. Uh, any new projects you guys are going to put on the site, on your YouTube channel and on the site?
This next week, we're going to start working on some more videos. Really, the YouTube channel is supposed to be for fun and entertainment, so we're trying not to make it like a job because we have those. So we do it as whenever we can, whenever we have a spare time.
Okay.
Our next big one is going to be doing some Bluetooth myths and hacking. So that should be entertaining.
Their micro makey video was really good. That was probably one of my favorites so far, even though it's the only video.
Wins by default.
Yeah.
I am working on what I'm currently calling the mini micro makey.
Really?
Yeah. So I've miniaturized the mini makey.
Can it get any smaller?
Yeah, it gets a lot thinner.
Wow.
So hopefully I'll have that product that build sheet done, and then I'll throw it up on our Instagram account.
Okay. Could you give us the names of the Instagram account?
Oh, sure. I think it's all just it's all based off the Mayhem Lab.
Uh-huh. It should be on the website, right?
Yeah, just I apologize. I think I said before it was the Mayhem Lab. It is not. It is mayhemlab.net.
Okay.
And then on the right-hand side, you have all the links, but it's just on YouTube, which is the Mayhem Lab.
Mhm.
At Twitter is at Mayhem Lab.
Okay.
Instagram is Mayhem Lab, and Google Plus is Mayhem Lab.
Okay.
So pretty consistent.
I want to thank you again, Michael. Thanks for being the first video on our channel. It's actually been a real honor to interview you.
Had fun.
I think that wraps up this video. Thanks a lot, Michael. Have a great, what is it, 10 o'clock right now? Have a great evening. So.
All right. Talk to you later. Thanks a lot.
Okay, bye.
Bye.